So let me ask you another question. How do you feel since you've been away from your home? I know you've been in Port St. Lucie since December, but I'm talking about from your home, your house, your swimming pool, your bedroom, your dog, your how does it feel being away from Harrison, my grand dog, and being away from your home? Yeah, you stay at my house, you've been at my house for a while, at our home for a while, but that's a guest quarters. But what does it feel like to be away from your house and your piano and your music room and your office, and you just sort of like in your own little quarters, in your own little corners? What does that feel like? How do you feel?
I just thought about Brandy and Whitney Houston's version of Cinderella, in my own little corner, in my own little chair.
I could be whatever I want to be.
But first of all, I miss my dog. Like, I miss my dog. For real.
I sit and talk to him every day.
I know. I miss Harrison a lot. Let's see. I miss my bed. I miss my bed tremendously. Sleeping in my bed for those few weeks in May was amazing. I miss, my neighbors, my neighbors. I miss getting to see people that I really care about, often. Like riding down the street and seeing somebody like, oh, I was just thinking about them. I'm glad they're doing all right. Or being able to send them a text message because I saw them driving past. Like I always try to, whenever I see somebody driving, I always try to text or like call them or blow the horn or something. And so I miss being able to do that because I don't know nobody up here. And so I don't have that connection. And it feels like, because and when you don't see people, you know what I mean, it's kind of like a out of sight, out of mind type thing. Is when you don't see them, you don't really get to talk to them, and so I kind of miss talking to people and getting to see how they're doing for real. Because now people call and check on me, but they don't really want to tell me what's going on with them because I have stuff going on, and I get it, but that's it's kind of, for me, it makes conversations kind of awkward.
So how does it feel being away from your friends and family and your co-workers and your church family and your students? I mean, how does it feel? We're here, and even before you got here, you was in Florida for almost 5 or 6 months. How does it feel being away from your norm? How does that feel?
It's really, it's really lonely, to be honest. And not saying that people don't call and check in. Not saying that I don't talk to people. I do. It's crazy. I talk to people that I've never talked to more now than before. Like, there are some people that call me quite often, and vice versa. And up until now, we probably never talked. I mean, not saying we never talked, but we rarely talked, and never talked on the phone. I don't even know how we got each other's number. But nothing is the same anymore. Wow. In my life. And so it's a really lonely time for me right now. And it's not even the cancer situation necessarily. It's just that on top of proximity. And it's like, I'm just kind of, it's obvious that God has me isolated. And so it's, yeah.
So the people that, are probably people I don't even know, whether it was fellow students, or not students, teachers, or church members, or your cousins, or family members, or people you hang out with, your friends. Do you talk to those people now? Because I seldom, do you talk to them?
Could you sell them what?
I don't hear you talking to them, but that doesn't mean you don't, because you could be out walking or something, talk to them. But do you talk to them? Oh, wait, excuse me. Do they call you then? How about that?
I don't call them.
Do they call you? Do they call to check on you?
Sometimes I get text messages. I get I get calls sometimes. Yeah, I get calls from people.
Are you getting calls from people that you were really tight with before you got here? The ones, like I got some people I talk to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Are those people the same ones you're communicating with or calling you? Or is this, like you said earlier, with somebody you're talking to different people you haven't really had a conversation with like that before?
There are some relationships that have not changed one bit. Like, they have not skipped a beat.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some relationships that have shifted, and they are drastically different than what they were. And so I guess I'm just learning to adjust and move forward, and focus on, like, there are people that can't necessarily reach me, like my students. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even have access to me. One does, and that's more than enough. But I've even gotten emails from them, from their school emails over the summer and different things like that. So the people that I'm close to,
Mm-hmm. Do they call you?
I don't get a whole lot of calls from the people that I'm close to.
Do they FaceTime you?
I get some FaceTimes from people sometimes. I don't get a whole lot, but I get some.
So I'm gonna ask you this personal question. So if you were in Gastonia and you was teaching every day and doing the band and doing church, and I'm gonna say during the day you may talk to, whether it's parents or students or church folks or whatever, other teachers or cousins. Say if you talked to at least 10 different people a day. I'm just saying, it could be a principal, whatever. Those 10 people is somebody you had a relationship with, whether it was work, co-worker, or church folks, or friends, or family, or whatever it is. If you average 10 a day, mm-hmm. when you were in their site in Gastonia, in the vicinity, mm-hmm. how many would you say you talk to a day now? If it was 10 a day then, what does that ratio look like now?
Of those people that I, would mm-hmm. talk, it's about one or two.
You serious?
I don't talk to, I never really talk to, there's very few people that I talk to just about every day anyway. But there were people that I did talk to at least every week, every month, every 2 weeks.
And you don't talk to them now?
Nah.
And how does that make you feel?
Like this is therapy?
Like what we're doing now is therapy?
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
I'm not trying to do
it's
that. Okay.
it's no. I mean, it's I. It makes me feel. Um, I don't even really know how to express it. I do, but I don't want it to sound like whatever. Like,
Okay, let me ask you a question. Could you
mm,
let me could you share with me what it feels like on the natural and then explain what it feels like on the spiritual? Then that way it won't seem like you're throwing off anybody or make anything naturally, just you as a human being, what does it feel like? And then spiritually, you said, well, I may be isolated, may God may be doing, I mean, could you do it that way?
I, it makes me sad because um, a lot of people that I talk to, we laugh together. And so I don't get to do that as much because this is hard for them. Me going through this is hard for them. And so I don't get to make the jokes or listen to them make jokes and do that type of thing. And so, because no, people don't find this funny. And I'm a firm believer that the joy of the Lord is my strength. And so, because of that, I try to just be happy through it all. But that doesn't mean that I don't want some company, because it gets rough. And like I said, there are people that check on me and I mean, like, my friends that are mothers with full-time jobs, they make a point to at least hit me up once a week, and I truly appreciate them for that. But even though I'm an introvert, I do extroverted work, and I haven't been doing my work. I haven't been around my people, so to speak. And you know, I understand that this is just a time and a season of preparation, and you know, for God to do whatever, but it's still lonely and it still sucks because I'm up here by myself. I mean, not saying you're not here because you obviously are. But like, you're the caregiver and there's already a lot on you, and so at least if there were other people around, you wouldn't feel as solely responsible for my well-being. And that's just, I guess, the thing about doing treatment in another state. You know, you forfeit the right to have proximity. You have to settle for prayers.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so, because with
And
social media,
I'm not saying settle for prayers
proximity
as like in a negative way.
No. But I'm saying, when you start talking about proximity, because when you start thinking about iPhones and Androids and social media, yours is like a way. It's not like in the 40s and 50s to write a letter. I mean, it's not like a person can't make a phone call or a text, or that's just my opinion. So I don't think proximity have anything, even if they couldn't come visit. I mean, like you said, you got two, as she said, two of your friends that have children, they still communicate. I mean, I think I don't think that's a good excuse. I mean, we can make excuses for people, you know, but I don't think that's valid, because not with social media and not with Instagram and TikTok and a cell phone and a text message or a face. You know, you could do a little emoji, good morning, think about whatever. So to me, and I know you may feel like it's okay for them not to, but not the way you've been there for people. That's just the way you've been there for people. I used to worry about her because she never had a cutoff. She would go that energized bunny on and on and on and on and on, and just it didn't. I mean, if she cared, she cared. She just went on. She may be tired, but she just do it. I used to be concerned about her doing that, but that's just who she is as a person. Whether it's a student, whether it's whoever it is. I didn't know all of this, and I'm very disappointed, but I'm glad you at least shared what you're feeling and how you're thinking. And I think it's important for anybody that's going through any type of treatment or trauma or sickness or illness, or even if someone's lost a loved one, you know, to make sure you have somebody can call and check on you every now and then. Are you okay? Are you good? Is there anything I can do for you? Even though they just talking or laughing or telling a joke, or let me show you this funny Facebook message I just saw. I think that's important for people that are going through something.